It's your favorite cousin's favorite cousin. Welcome to the Trap House. Come and sip this tea with your favorite cousin. I hope that y'all been having a good weekend. I hope that you had a good week last week. Make sure you go check out the Sagittarius full moon recording. It will be up by the time that you see this. Subscribe to my Patreon for you to get some Trap House exclusives. This is the Sunroom edition here on Patreon or on YouTube, and then you will get the porch and all of the goodies in the basements and everything else when you get on Patreon, along with rituals, one-on-one readings. For instance, we have a Sagittarius full moon this Thursday. Everyone on the premier tier of Patreon will get an opportunity to get the house interpreted for where this full moon is affecting them. So just one of the benefits. So make sure that you go and check out the Sagittarius full moon recording. This is the Trap House Tea. We're going to see what we have in store for the week. With it being full moon week, Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius at 2 degrees. Venus will be moving into Gemini the day after the full moon, so that will be on the 24th. And then Jupiter will be moving into Gemini 2 days after the full moon, so that will be on the 25th. So we have a lot happening this week. We're moving into Gemini season. It's just a time to be aligned and to be aware. I am calling the Sagittarius full moon the spiritual commencement ceremony. So you are having a coming back to self, a new realization, a breakthrough. So make sure that you go check that out. The main focus for the week is in the heart chakra. Wisdom is the theme. The Sagittarius full moon is all about wisdom. What have I learned? What have I applied? Where have you become more wise? Where are you no longer afraid or ashamed of what you know? You know, sometimes being smart is shunned on. You know, people don't think that it's cute to be the nerd. When you're the smartest one in the class, sometimes you want to hide the fact that you're the smart one. You're not hiding anymore. You're realizing that your wisdom can save worlds. Your wisdom, the things that you are well aware of, or the things that you have already experienced, can save worlds. God gave you the consciousness. The higher consciousness gave you the consciousness and the understanding and the know-how and the dexterity to survive whatever it is that you went through. So now that you could have the wisdom to speak from your heart, because this is the heart chakra, to speak from your heart in order for you to influence positively the next generation or even your legacy, the next people who are coming after you. There's a mama out there who's realizing that although her mother didn't do what she needed to, and her mother's mother didn't do what she needed to, and so on and so forth, but now you're wise enough to do what's necessary for your world that will impact the world behind you. It's a beautiful freaking thing. Oh man, the shadow focus is in our third eye. Forgiveness is the theme. This was the theme for Patreon this morning as well. Forgiveness is the theme. This hippo or rhinoceros, her name is Rhonda, and she's potentially going to be killed by some hunters. But something happens, and the little boy leads her off deeper into the forest, and they both fall asleep. And when they wake up, they've both been adopted by another family, and so they're able to live happily ever after, and go on and do all the things that they wanted to do. But the story talks about how Rhonda was never mad at the people who tried to kill her. Rhonda was able to find forgiveness for the people who literally tried to take her off of this earth. The little boy was able to find forgiveness for the people who abandoned him and left him to be an orphan in this world and figure it all out. Because through whatever trial they went through, they were able to be triumphant, and they were able to come out with wisdom and know better and do better. See, sometimes when you're the one who goes through the hardest transition or the worst childhood, that happened because you were going to be able to be a compass for other people. You were going to be able to relate to other people later on in life. I can't tell you how many times my point of execution, it should have been what took me out of this world. It should have been what decimated me, has been the point of why I've been able to forge so many unions or help people or heal people, or even my entire Yoni brand, my entire Yoni steaming business came from the wound that I had survived. And because I survived it and healed myself and was able to not necessarily forgive the person who did what they did to me, but forgive that space. Forgive that time of my life. Forgive my mother not knowing better. Forgive me for not screaming more. You know, forgive me for not yelling and running away. Forgiveness of the situation is what then gave me the ability to have keys to open the door to the next portal of it. We're never forgiving the people. We're always forgiving ourselves for letting them get that close to us, for not seeing them for who we knew they were and not what we thought they were. We always have to ask for forgiveness for falling in love with potential, staying in love with potential, staying for, oh, what I thought they could. I hoped he would. I thought one day she would. You're wiser than that. You know more. You know better than that. Sagittarius full moon week will be bringing some things to the full culmination of spirit, the full culmination of understanding. And now, because you know better, you can do better. You can choose better when you're more wise. You don't make those same foolish missteps. I remember when I was in high school. In my high school, there are these door stops. I wonder if they're still there. But there are these door stops that the upperclassmen will stop during passing period, and they will watch the underclassmen, or they will watch to see who the underclassmen are. Because if you're an upperclassman, you know the door stops are there. You've been walking over them for a year. You've already tripped over them. You know how to negate them. But the underclassmen, the new babies, they don't understand. They're not as wise. They can't see third eye. They can't see what was already there. They don't have that vantage point. So the Sagittarius full moon is going to be giving everybody new vantage points on where you need to give more forgiveness to yourself. And really, that's what it's always about. It's never forgiving the other person. Sometimes you struggle to forgive another person because you have not yet forgiven yourself for what it is that you've done in your life or in that situation or what have you, or maybe because you lack wisdom. Patience is a virtue. Patience is the next energy that's coming up. And having patience, time. She's holding a clock, a timepiece on her stomach. Time. Wisdom brings time. Forgiveness sometimes takes time. And just because you forgave someone doesn't mean that you have completely forgotten what they did. And you'd be foolish. You'd be foolish to forgive someone and forget what they did to you. That's crazy. You forgive them so that you don't take up the capacity in your heart chakra, in your heart space for what it is that you really want to attract. With Venus being in Gemini, and we had that Taurus new moon a couple of weeks ago, but it was at 6 degrees of Virgo. So the 6th degree of Virgo has you fine-tooth combing to see exactly what can be wrong with the piece, even if you love the piece, even if you love the Burberry shirt, even if you love the Louis Vuitton jacket, you have to look really close to make sure that the threading was right. And let's say that you went and got off the clearance rack, you definitely gonna have to make sure that nothing is wrong with this garment before you just walk off with it because it has a label on it or because it has a designer brand on it. And the same is true with now where we are in position with the full moon in Sagittarius. We are combing through. Pluto is retrograde at 2 degrees of Aquarius. So that's the Venusian degree. We are combing through the fine-tooth details of our life, of the things that make us feel good, of the relationships that make us feel good, or that they made us feel good for so long, but now it's time for them to be eliminated. They have expired. Or seeing where do you need to be more wise in your bout of forgiveness, because some people, they just don't know no better. They don't know how to be a good friend. They don't know how to be a good partner. They don't know how to be a good lover. So it will be a series of forgiving and forgetting and growing and forgiving and forgetting, because that's what it's all about anyway. And that's patience that it's going to take in order for you to achieve that next level. Attachment is the next energy. This week, under the full moon energy, you will be able to see where are you falsely attached to something that is no longer for you. You see on this card, this girl is chained to a post, and then she's trying to take a mask off. It's impossible for you to become something else that when you're clinging on to something you used to be, or when you're clinging on to something that somebody else wanted you to be. with it being the number 5 there, that gives me the Leo energy. Leo rules the 5th house of the zodiac wheel. So maybe something that you received in your childhood makes you feel that you have to be attached to that outdated reality, to that outdated relationship. Kind of like, what is it called when they arranged marriage? Maybe you have an arranged attachment to poverty, an arranged attachment to heartbreak, an arranged attachment to, you know, anything. It's time for you to decipher and demolish the attachment. And this week is going to really give you the opportunity and the trampoline to do so. So you can attract some caring connections, because you deserve that, which is also 5, because it's 14. So 1 and 4, 5. You deserve to. And then patience is 16. 6 minus 1 is 5. 5, 5, 5 across the board. Big changes. Huge changes. Fibonacci, the same at the beginning as it was at the end. So when you came into this world, you were perfect. You were made in God's image. And God, Goddess, is perfect. Literally perfect. God is love. God is the caring connection. But in order for you to get back on the other side, sometimes you have to realize that, yeah, life was a little hard. I didn't deserve that. But if I can just forgive myself, forgive those that maybe have transgressioned upon me, I can get to the other side. That's usually how it goes anyway. It gets real hard and ugly before you can get to the other side. Love is in the air. Venus is in Gemini. Venus loves Gemini and loves to be fun, flirty, and free. Jupiter is in Gemini. Take a gamble on it. Take a gamble on that new person who you don't know. What I will say is that it may not be long lasting. You'll know by the time Venus moves into Cancer if it's going to last for longer than 30 days, because it just was fun at that time. But sometimes in order for you to get to the caring connection or the caring attachment, you do have to detach from your expectations and from, everything being so serious. And I met him on January 22nd. So by March 22nd, I better be meeting his parents. And by June 22nd, we better be moving in together. Like, let go. Let go of all that. 5th chakra in our throat chakra, Archangel Gabriel. And y'all know Gabriel is the messenger. So pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to maybe recurring messages via songs. There may be some encrypted messages via your songs. With the heart chakra space, this also kind of gives me ancestral. So in meditation and in the dove as well, gives me ancestral energy. So maybe paying attention during your meditation sessions, not always talking. Remember, meditation is not so that you can talk, it's so that you can receive. So maybe balancing that throat chakra by listening a little bit more. Listen. If you have some indecision that you are being met with this week, you have already been met with this indecision, this week is going to give you the opportunity of breakthrough and clarity. You're going to come to the fork in the road and maybe go straight. Maybe you don't need to go left or right. Maybe that was a trick for you to go left or right. Maybe your direction is straight. That's us coming back with the spiritual commencement of, we all went to the same spiritual school of knowledge, so to say. But when we graduate, we are not going to the same college. We are not going to the same master's program or graduate program. We are now going to have to go wherever our own paths take us. And that's being okay with yours didn't look left or right. Yours was actually straight. Financial constraints. If money has been tight, you are not alone. You're not alone. If anything, the Sagittarius full moon Jupiterian base is going to give you the opportunity to see where you can either take out a loan, consolidate your bills, be more diligent with your usage. One of the main things that you can do when it comes to your money is not using the word spend. Do not spend money. I don't spend money. I use money. I circulate money. When you use money, it can be used again. When you circulate money, it circulates and it comes back to you. When you spend money, it's gone. When you gripe and complain that you have to pay your bills, then the money is like, oh shit, we're scared. Oh no, we don't even want to multiply anymore because all you do is cry and complain when the money gets here. Money is never ending. It's endless. It's a vibration. It's a currency. It's a frequency. And if you can tap into that, then you can attain it and you can attract it and you can maintain it. So if you have been physically experiencing financial constraints, remember, it's first a thing within your head. You have to realize that you have access to the financial vortex at all times. Write yourself a check. You can print them off on the internet, and you will write paid in full on one of the checks. You can even use one of your own checks from your checking account, and then write paid in full on it, or write a dollar amount that you would like. In the date, you want to say now, like, you know, that this was meant now, and this is you making a commitment with the universe, and the universe is cashing you out. But it all starts in a mental space before it starts anywhere. Also, on this financial constraints card, there are spider webs all over the chest, all in the chest, on the coins. Spiders are significant of, no matter how many times your web is ripped down, make sure that you have enough ability to rebuild it again, a confidence to rebuild it again, no matter what. Humans go through and mess up spider webs every day. It's in my way. And the spider might get mad, but the spider ultimately turns back around and be like, fuck, I got to build it again. Let me build another one. Hostilities. Number 26. There can be a little bit of backlash, especially if there are some decisions that are made this week, especially if there are some hard lines in the sand that are drawn this week. There can be some hostilities. There can be some people who are a little, rejecting of your decisions. It's the same, energy of, like, if you're like the best employee at your job, and then all of a sudden you either decide that you're no longer going to be full-time, or that you're no longer going to be accessible, or that you're going to leave, period. They can be a little hostile. That's why some people don't give 2-week notices anymore, because people start treating them differently at the job because they know that they are leaving within 2 weeks. And they become a little hostile because of that. Protect your boundaries. Utilize your energetic know-how, your ancestral chants and affirmations to protect you as you are moving forward, and don't let the hostilities make you feel like you have to stay. People hate change, but it got to happen anyway. Community. Somebody's mad that the community is changing. They're going to be hostile towards the community. You may want to be a little bit more protective of your community as well. I know that we live in a day and age when everybody wants to, I'm on video, this is my picture, this is my family, this is my friend. My ear is ringing right now. That's confirmation of stop, don't do it. Some people are so envious. That was a card that came up for Patreon earlier. Some people are so envious, and it's not because of what you physically have, so to say. It's not because of what you financially have attained. It's because of your community. So instead of them attacking your pockets, they'll attack your community. And the next thing you know, you won't have a friend. You won't have any friends, or there will be rifts that have never existed before, because someone is moving in their hostile energy. So protect your energies, protect your friends. Walking away from the old as you walk into something new. And she's looking back, and she's just not, all the way certain that she's walking in the right direction. But you have to be confident that where you are headed is greater than where you have left and what you are leaving. And that as you are moving towards it, and you see she has 2 butterflies. One of the butterflies is illuminated with the yellow Christ consciousness. Her Christ consciousness is illuminated as well. My nails look horrible, so don't look too close. I'm getting them done tomorrow. She's walking through the 2 pearl posts. So this is like walking in heaven. You're walking away from the bullshit, walking into heaven, walking into the new communities, walking into the caring connections, walking into the financial stability, walking into your wisdom and your ability to communicate well through your own messaging system. Okay? Thank you, Spirit, for moving through me. Give me the rest of the clarity and consciousness for the collective of the Trap House. What else do they need to know? Everything is changing. Time is full of swift transition. Fill yourself with things eternal. All right. King of Pentacles is the first energy that we have in the tarot. Um, Sowing our royal oats. You see, he got these grapes all around him. It's really about to be a time of celebration. The things that you have already been putting out are really going to come back tenfold for you. Under the Sagittarius full moon, you may be able to start feeling them, tangibly feeling them. Definitely over the next 30 days, this is going to be something that is more um, tangible and you're able to see and accessible. But whatever you've previously invested in is starting to make a turn for the best for you. Some of you under the Sagittarius full moon, because Sagittarius and Jupiter is higher learning and higher education, you may make the decision to go back to school. You may even receive financial compensation for you to make that happen. Eight of Pentacles. Somebody's going back to school. Somebody's graduating. I know it's graduation season, but somebody under the graduation ceremony is receiving the influence and the inspiration to have their own ceremony, to have something to show for it. They realize that the time is going to pass anyway, so they might as well have something to show for it. Congratulations to all of the graduates, all of the people who have already gone through the commencement ceremony of this year. You worked really hard, and now you're going to receive the victors of your laurel. You're now going to receive the job. You're going to receive the compensation. You're going to receive the celebration. And then for those of you who are still working diligently and working hard, things are working in your favor. Just keep going. Keep on pushing. Keep on pushing. Queen of Cups. Things are getting a lot more spiritual. And that doesn't mean that you need to lose yourself in the spiritual warfare or in the spiritual waters. That just means that, like I said, you need to be clinging to yourself. You need to be clinging to your roots. You need to be clinging to your spiritual practice and your system, whatever it is, no matter what, in these times, as opposed to clinging to physical things, clinging to platforms, clinging to celebrities, clinging to any of that. For years and years and years, I've said looking up to celebrities is like one of the most foolish things that you can fucking do, because they're not even looking up to themselves. And now here we are in this time space continuum when the celebrities are literally crumbling. I almost kind of feel sorry for people who are like, oh, they were my goals. I wanted to be like them. I was looking up to them. I almost feel sorry. But let this be a lesson to you. The rebirth is here. The awakening is here. Walking away from things that have nothing to do with you and walking more into where you can self-validate and touch whatever it is that you're trying to make happen is the most important. Knight of Rods. Because again, messengers, you're receiving the messages that you need in order for you to lay down the rods or the necessary stepping points in order for you to be successful in your life. And I'm just here to tell you that you're not going to reach your level of success by following in someone else's footsteps. Definitely not by following in people's footsteps who are literally put in position to distract you. Ace of Pentacles. It's a whole new beginning. A whole new world. Walk on through. Walk through. You see, walk through the gate. Walk through the gateway. Walk through the happiness. Let the ending happen. Let the ending happen. Walk away from the previous attachment and make a decision. The decision will be well supported by the universe. I mean, even if you decide something that's not necessarily the best decision, that's the way the universe is. That's how great the God and Goddess is. They are going to give you whatever it is that you have made the decision that you want to commit to. That's why sometimes when you see people who are maybe in less than ideal situations, or we think that it's less than ideal, but they seem very comfortable, it's because God is blessing them. The gods are blessing them how they want to live. How do you want to live? It's up to you. Page of Rods is the next energy, but you're going to have to go on the journey in order to do that. You have the Knight of Rods, who is the messenger, the retriever of the messenger from the king. But then you have the Page of Rods, who has to be the one who is willing to decipher the message, to retrieve the message, to go out and dig for the message, because they don't talk to the page too much. You know, the page has to work his way up the ladder. So this week is about, what are you willing to sacrifice? What old part of you are you willing to sacrifice so that you can step into this newer and more advanced, ready to receive? Because we have the knight, the page, the king, and the queen all in this reading. You can't become a king unless you've shown yourself to be a diligent knight and definitely a diligent page. How can we, put you into the inductee Hall of Fame and you haven't even showed up correctly? Meditation, find peace within. I'm done, y'all. I am done. Because I think I've already said this, or maybe I said this on Patreon. The easiest way back to source, or the easiest way out of the problem, is to go in. You have to go within. You're not going to find the answers that you're looking for on your phone. You're not going to find the answers that you're looking for in your celebrity. You're not going to find the answers you're looking for, not even in your partner or your best friend. You have to go within, slow down your mind, look through your third eye and your crown consciousness to see what is being seen. Move your body. Move your body, girl. Another purified way to nullify the energy or to return to source is to move your body. Move your sacral space. Move your hips. Twerk. Have sex. Walk. Dance. Elevate. Hold yourself accountable. Because everything we've been talking about since the very beginning, the first card, forgiveness and wisdom, is all of our own diligence. We are only going to get there if we choose to commit, if we choose to eliminate, if we choose to elevate, and then realize where have we needed to be held accountable on why things have gone the way they've gone in our life up until now. And then unorthodox, stand out as the final energy. You're not going to blend in. You're not going to be able to hide all the time. And I said that, I think, on the Sagittarius full moon reading. We like to hide away. When we know that we can be different, or that we know that we shine different, we walk in a room, sometimes we like to hide away. Those days are gone, because you're not going to be able to wait for somebody else to validate you. You have to validate yourself. You have to move in your own energy and your own gifts, because that is your superpower. Y'all have a good week. I'll talk to y'all later. Holla back.